Alrighty. And the greatness continues. What's up? What's happening? What's going on? Welcome back to Anime Station, which is here for anything and everything animation, including two superheroes that fight crime on the other side of the world. Welcome back to Miraculous March 3. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 11, titled Desperata. And this episode is great. It's not as amazing as Oblivio, no, but this is a great episode. But I will point out that it had a very rough start. It started out, really slowly with the same stuff we've already seen before. The slow start is this episode's biggest problem. Outside of that, it's a great episode. It's a really great episode, a really fun watch, and we get introduced to another new Miraculous. So, yeah, this should be pretty fun. Let's discuss it together, shall we? Let's start with our plot synopsis from Netflix. Jagged Stone seeks to replace the guitarist he fired, who gets akumatized into Desperata, a villain with a magic instrument that traps people as stickers on her guitar case. And this opponent is actually pretty strong, but what bugs me about this villain in particular, excuse me, is she gets akumatized off-screen. This is a new villain that we've never seen before, with a new character we haven't seen before, at least to my recollection, in this series. So why have the akumatization off-screen? More to the point, why have it completely off-screen with no explanation until the villain actually shows up? With most of these people, I can at least sympathize about why they get akumatized and turn into villains. But with Desperata, I can't, because we don't learn anything about her as a person or as a character. Because they did the whole thing off-screen, and the villain shows up in the first 5 minutes. Why? That is such a dumb decision, and it makes it feel very rushed. Then we have the main conflict of the episode, in this case being Marinette being stuck between her feelings for both Adrien and Luca. And when Jagged Stone's looking for a new guitarist, and her friends try to tell her to pick Luca, and instead she picks Adrien, and Luca gives Adrien his guitar at Marinette's suggestion. And then literally nothing happens. Nothing regarding that little side plot happens for pretty much the rest of the episode. And then, of course, you have Ladybug trying to fight off this new villain, and this villain's very difficult, so she and Cat Noir chase into the sewers, and that's where they meet Luca, who's also hiding down there with Adrien. And Ladybug decides that it's time for another Miraculous holder to give her a hand. She picks the Snake Miraculous, which has the ability to rewind time, or as they call it, its second chance. And she picks Adrien, not knowing that he's Cat Noir. So Adrien obviously takes off his Miraculous temporarily, and puts on this new Miraculous and becomes the hero Aspic. It's cool, and it is cool to actually see a moment where Ladybug knows Adrien's a superhero, just for that one moment, because she still doesn't know that he's Cat Noir. And it seems like it's going to go well at first, and then almost every single time, and Adrien tries 2,000-something times, according to the dialogue later in the episode, to, stop Ladybug from getting hit with Desperata's magic trumpet. And every 2,000 times it fails, and it just gets him more and more frustrated to the point where he has to just give up because clearly he's not helping at all. So instead he suggests to her, give it to Luca. And then this is when we find out that this is Luca's main Miraculous. And he turns into another snake hero. I apologize. What was the name again? Give me a minute. I gotta remember the name. Viperion. That's the name, Viperion. Thank you, Wiki. Viperion. So, Luca turns into Viperion, and while it does take a couple tries, they do manage to succeed and take down the villain. And that's pretty much the episode. And then we go back to the boat after that, where Jagged apologizes to Vivica for firing her, and then she gets rehired. And then Kagami tells Marinette that she was wrong about her and Luca, but tells her to choose, because life doesn't always give you a second chance at love. That's a decent piece of dialogue. And then Alia tells her Luca and Adrian also have a right to choose, and the end card appears. In other words, something is building up here that's going to pay off at the end of the season. What's it going to be? Like I said, these are all first-time watches, so I do not have a single clue. But I do know that this is a great episode that sadly just has a really slow start and a villain that you have no sympathy for and thus no attachment for, despite the decent design. But outside of that, the action's still great. There's still some great moments all throughout the episode, and having Marinette choose between Adrian and Luca, both in her normal human life and then also in her superhero life inadvertently, is actually pretty cool. And it's a nice little contrast. So, yeah, that's all I can really say about Desperada. It's a great episode with some serious flaws. And because of that, it all amounts to a final verdict of an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Star Train. See you then.